So I'm going to start by reading a poem from an American poet on learning to dissect fetal pigs. I want back my rocking chairs, solipsist sunsets, and coastal jungle sounds that are tercets from cicadas and pentameter from the hairy legs of cockroaches. I've donated Bibles to thrift stores, mashed them in plastic trash bags with an acidic Himalayan salt lamp. The post-baptism Bibles, the ones plucked from street corners from the meaty hands of zealots, the dumbed-down, easy-to-read, parasitic kind. Remember more the slick rubber smell of high-gloss biology textbook pictures. They burned the hairs inside my nostrils and salt and ink that rubbed off on my palms. Under clippings of the moon at 2:45 a.m., I study and repeat. Ribosome, endoplasmic, lactic acid, stamen at the IHOP on the corner of Powers and Stetson Hills. I repeated and scribbled until it picked its way and stagnated somewhere I can't point to anymore. Maybe my gut. Maybe there in between my pancreas and large intestine in the piddly brook of my soul. It's the ruler by which I reduce all things now, hard-edged and splintering from knowledge that used to sit, a cloth against a fevered forehead. Can I let them both be, this fickle faith and this college science that heckles from the back of the classroom? Now I can't believe that the Bible and the Quran and the Bhagavad Gita are sliding long hairs behind my ear, just like Mum used to, and exhaling from their mouths, make room for wonder. All my understanding dribbles down the chin onto the chest and is summarized as, life is merely to ovum and sperm, and where those two meet, and how often and how well, and what dies there. Renee McColgard, for those of you who didn't recognize it, it's won the American Academy of Writers Poem of 2020.
And this is called The Way. Through the iron gate, an infinite way leads me to an open door. I lightly tread my steps with confidence between shadows of people's headstones, Thomas, Howells, Shalewa. They all bring colour, courage in uncertainty, repentance in fresh light. Green-black moss baubles line the church path's edge. Slippy pressure, washed away for those who wait to make confession, receive blessing. Thank you.
Ag an tabar bheanathe, an tabar néfa. Tá né crin chwil. Na canóna ag titim an nuas in isca an tabar canóna néfa. Istig sna canóna fis fish imbas an vradon rua roasa bradon fasa Cá bhfuil dá fis Tar doing an solas dúsigh leach geal dúsigh lú is fionn dúsigh leach na solas na gréine I do chuile Cá bhfuil an críob stolis gléam freisin man na ná déthe an trúr marigú moríon baibh macha tar, ag scradil, ag beca, sna sléite, tríd an tira. Cwrw agla, I gríthe an Newydd, an teanga nimhnach, oscail or gríthe. Tor doing an inspiroid, it's an imbas. Go dí go seacht sa míos suas, agus laurmid amach os ord an Iarna. Seasamid le chéile, ganagla, le chéile, le neart, le fis, le fish. Seo má aisling geal, seo má fadger, go raibh early.
There are 6 fields atop this mountain, containing the last of the old forest, surrounded by uniformed century pines like an old-fashioned siege. Along the edges of each field, vehicles band together against the harsh Welsh winds. Inside the luton that extends over the cab of an ex-army MK lorry, the sound of feral snores escape a green-nosed, red-cheeked child, pleasantly unaware of her purpose. The oaky smell of bacon draws hope from the warmth of the mattress. Sun briefly filters through the grubby glass of the single squared window to the head of her bed. Wingless blowfly remains glisten on the 2-centimetre sill. Casualties of a brief one-sided friendship. Condensation from the small gas hob in the kitchen rises. The heavy morning air clings to the wood-clad walls in jewelled droplets, attracting each other as if magnetised. Once large enough, racing down the grooves between the panels, dampening the threadbare carpet of the luton. Hope pokes her head over the ledge to the foot of her mattress, which opens out into a tiny box, twice the height of her bedroom nook, but about the same width. "Morning, Hopey, you hungry?" Hope wrinkles her nose and nods in reply. The odorous heat from the hob crawls across the ceiling. In the tiny space, it's intoxicating. Her dad is in good spirits. The Sandman must have visited him too. He's always nicer, calmer, gentler after real sleep. Following a restless night, he would often tell her, "It's hard to escape the memories that break us when the moon rises. Make sure yours are not stalked by shadows that prey upon conscience." A valuable lesson, one of many that were rarely absorbed by her pubescent brain, like the moral of a story without context. Real sleep draws him back, though, at least for a little while. On the bad days, it was better to be scarce. If there was no one there to cause friction, albeit unknowingly, there was no explosive escape of the beast he'd been trained to be, so easily enraged like a caged animal. Climbing down from the small luton bedroom, Hope slips into the corner of the U-shaped booth seating. The scuffed beige pleather shocking the exposed curve of flesh on her rear with its icy greeting. "Sorry, darling, the wood was a bit frozen. She ain't kicking out much heat yet," he said, gesturing towards the log burner in the communal bedroom space through the narrow doorway to their left. Larger than the kitchen by at least 2 meters, and the only other room within this rectangular tin. Cozier than it appears once the fire gets going. There's just enough space to suffice. Never cramped, as there is very little in the way of clutter. All things here have a purpose and a place. Except for the curious items snuggled in the corner of an old wooden chest that doubles as a coffee table, tucked in the corner by the thin dividing wall to the kitchen. A beautiful hand-sewn bag covered in patterned hexagon patches.
A is for abortion, accessibility, affordable housing, air pollution, at risk. B is for bias, bisexual, black. C is for cancer moonshot, carbon emissions mitigation, clean fuel, clean power, clean water, climate, confirmation bias, contaminants of environmental concern, cultural differences. D is for DEI, disability, discrimination, disparity, diverse. E is for elderly, electric vehicle, emissions, environmental justice, equitable, ethnicity. F is for female, feminism, fluoride, fostering inclusivity. G is for gay, gender, gender-based violence, Gulf of Mexico. H is for hate speech, health disparity, Hispanic. I is for identity, inclusive, immigrants, implicit bias, indigenous, injustice, integration, intersectionality. JK is what we wish, just kidding, that this were all one giant malicious joke. L is for LGBTQ, low emissions vehicle. M is for marginalized, measles, mental health, microplastics, minority. N is for Native American, non-binary, non-conforming. O is for opioids, oppression, orientation. P is for people of color, person-centered, pollution abatement, prejudice, privilege, pronouns. Q is for queer. R is for race, racial diversity, racial inequality, racial justice, racism. S is for safe drinking water, science-based, segregation, social justice, socioeconomic, solar power, stereotypes, sustainability, systemic. T is for they, them, trans. U is for underrepresented, underserved, underprivileged. V is for vaccines, vulnerable populations. W is for water pollution, white privilege, wind power, woman, women, women in leadership. X is for the obscenity of your spite and cruelty. Y is for why the hell did 49.8% of American voters think this was a good idea? For those of you who are merely racist, misogynist, homophobic, corrupt, climate change denial, evangelical, fascist adjacent, I hope you enjoyed your tax break. Z is for your zero-sum, fucked up worldview, where for you to win, someone else must lose.
This is for Bar, I haven't been here for a while. Bar's not attended, and the last thing I heard her read, it says, you may recognize the quotes. So the title is, this is for Bar. Have earthlings got talent? The gods sum up. Non, dis, no matter what word smithereens make of it, their ailments too versatile. Earthlings simply are. Let's settle for ill-abled to see, if you see what we mean, the big pick, their lot. This bungled species that bought it brought hell on earth down on their own fat heads. A hugger-mugger, no-hope, a bunch of anti-poets who, wow, slow to, but shall know it yet, only when too late.
Y cawr tu fewn yn dod allan o'r creulondeb, yn creu teulu ar ddaear mwy parchus, a rhyddid i'm calon, achos greiddiau gyda gobaith a caredigwydd mwy pwysig na dwlu dibwrpas, yn lladd enaid ac ysbryd glân. Felly, teulu a ddaear yn fy nghalon ddiangen preswylfa sefydlog, hiraeth yn canu anynau mewn capel, eglwys neu canol ca, yn gwneud dim gwaniaeth, mewn bywyd yn mentro fod yn dwfn, yn chwerthu'n bant yr ego, ond dal yn barchus.
I'll introduce myself a bit first for context. I'm Tallulah. I'm an NHS doctor who's autistic, and I'm currently going through a period of burnout. I used to write a lot as a child. I've done some of Julia Cameron's Artist's Way, and I found that she's right. Everything just writes itself. So these are all things that I didn't really write. My fox. Death and me, we're sort of friends, the same way foxes are with wrens. I see him every day at work. He smiles at me, that vulpine smirk. I scowl right back and fight against his clutching at their hands I'd sensed. He takes them then, despite my tries. He lures them with sweet lullabies. We dance this dance, we fight these fights. He calls to me through all delights. He stands there at the edges waving, cordial, cozy, calling, craving. I hear his calls so loud at night. Maybe what he wants is right. Maybe death is just my friend. He wants what's best, the noise to end. Misery loves company, and mine he really longs for. And so he sings so sweetly, such seductive, gripping songs, or maybe death just lies to me, a siren calling me to see. Death and me, we're sort of friends, the same way foxes are with wrens. And I'll read you a light-hearted one. Lots of my poems are very sad. So here's a nice one that's called Birdie. Shipped in lovingly with the bins, 18 claws or talon things, a beak or snout as black as night, a tail that helps with taking flight, a caw as hoarse as gravel. I wonder how far did she travel? Eyes of golden brown, no, green. Depends on what near prey she's seen. Bouncing, bobbing everywhere. She was just over here, I swear. Speckled black with orange underneath, a yin-yang face concealing needle teeth. To bite all little moving things that please her. Whatever is this feathered, furry creature? Anoints me with those feathers, misnamed whiskers. A tender moment scuppered by how brisk her attention span results to be. She wants to chase and catch and see all tiny things throughout the house, perchance one day a real mouse. A mini apex predator. One thing that I have learned for sure is I am under your sweet spell, my dear little tortoiseshell.